So let's talk about a country that's right on the front lines of climate change, a place where the absolute backbone of its economy is under threat. Today, we're diving into how Pakistan is turning to some seriously high-tech solutions to save its most vital sector, agriculture. Okay, to really get what's at stake here, you've got to understand this one thing. For Pakistan, agriculture isn't just part of the economy. For a huge part of the population, it is the economy. I mean, it contributes about a quarter of the entire country's GDP. And this number, wow, this really puts the human side of it all into perspective. We're talking about almost half of the entire workforce. That's something like 25 million people who count on farming for their livelihood. It's the engine that keeps everything running. So, what happens when that engine starts to sputter? What happens when the very foundation of food, jobs, and stability gets shaken by forces way beyond anyone's control? And that brings us right to Pakistan's climate reality. The country is at a truly critical crossroads, facing this onslaught of environmental challenges that are taking direct aim at its agricultural heartland. It's really a perfect storm. You've got these cycles of severe drought that just starve the land, and then they're followed by these absolutely catastrophic floods. The 2010 floods alone, I mean, they put a staggering 1/5 of the entire country underwater. Just think about that. Then you throw in scorching heat waves and water resources that are just dwindling, and you have an existential threat to farming as they know it. But, out of crisis often comes innovation. And in the face of all this, a new blueprint is emerging. It's an approach designed not just to survive, but to actually thrive. It's called climate-smart agriculture. And honestly, it could be a total game changer. So what even is climate-smart agriculture, or CSA for short? Well, think of it as a strategy to completely rethink and retool how farming is done. The whole goal is to transform the entire system so it can handle these climate shocks and still provide food security for a growing population. CSA is really built on 3 core pillars, as you can see right here. The first is productivity. Pretty simple, right? Sustainably grow more food. The second is adaptation, or resilience, helping farms bounce back from climate shocks. And the third is mitigation, finding ways to reduce agriculture's own environmental footprint. The real magic happens when you find solutions that hit that sweet spot right in the middle, where all 3 of these overlap. So how do you actually do this? Well, this isn't just some abstract theory. It's being put into practice with a fascinating and really powerful toolkit of modern technology. And the Agritech arsenal is pretty impressive. You've got drones flying over fields, spotting pest problems early, and applying treatments with surgical precision. To fight water scarcity, there are high-efficiency irrigation systems that deliver water right to the plant's roots, which slashes waste. And kind of like the brains behind the operation, you have AI and data platforms, using info from soil sensors to help farmers make way smarter, data-driven decisions. And this isn't just tech for tech's sake. You can see how it plays out right there in the fields. For instance, farmers are planting new kinds of drought-tolerant wheat. And for a super thirsty crop like rice, they're using techniques like alternate wetting and drying, which cuts water use by a ton without hurting the harvest. This is practical innovation in action. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But of course, a revolution is never that easy. As promising as all this tech is, there are some major real-world barriers that are really slowing things down. Let's start with this productivity gap because, wow, this chart tells a story. The value an agricultural worker in Pakistan adds is just over $1,700. Now, compare that to nearly $21,000 in developed countries. That is a massive difference, and it's exactly the gap this technology is trying to close. And that huge economic gap, well, it has a very real, very human cost. It means incredibly low monthly paychecks. And just look at the gender disparity here. On average, women working in agriculture earn less than half of what men do. So here's the crucial point. Any solution has to tackle this inequality head on. So what's really holding things back? Well, first, the cost. This new tech is just too expensive for many small farmers. Then there's a serious lack of training on how to use it all effectively. Policy can be a roadblock too, with big delays on things like approving drone imports. And critically, you have these social barriers. Women make up a huge part of the workforce here, but they have way less access to loans, to training, and to the technology itself. Acknowledging these hurdles is the first step. The next, and the most important one, is actually building a complete ecosystem for success, moving from just pointing out problems to actually implementing solutions. So how do we get there? Well, experts are pointing to a pretty clear 4-point plan. It all starts with supportive government policies to clear those roadblocks. Second, you need innovative ways to finance all this to make it affordable. Third, you need strong partnerships between the public and private sectors. And fourth, maybe the most important of all, you have to empower the farmers themselves with the knowledge and the resources they need to succeed.
And the good news is we're already seeing some of this in action. To get over that cost barrier, new financial tools are popping up. Things like green banking initiatives and even interest-free loans are helping farmers get their hands on game-changing tech like solar-powered water pumps, which cuts both their costs and their carbon footprint.
You know, at the end of the day, this quote really sums it all up perfectly. Agritech isn't some magic wand that's going to fix everything overnight, but it is an incredibly powerful set of tools. The real transformation, the real magic, is going to come when we put those tools into the hands of the millions of farmers on the front lines. The challenge now isn't just about inventing the future of agriculture, it's about making sure everyone has access to it.